Ah, c'est parti, on va pouvoir récolter les quêtes.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw.
J'y pensais aussi, on va voir
as best I could, of course. But the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person...
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Solas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent.
No, thank you.
Voilà, on va ensuite prendre les quêtes qui sont dans ma piole. Il n'y en a pas, c'est bon, j'aurais pas besoin d'aller au jardin. Ça c'est bien. D'ailleurs, t'as 6000 points ce coup-ci, c'est vrai, c'est vrai, c'est vrai. Les 6000 points sont là. On peut finir Bahamut. Oh! Et j'ai même envie de dire, si on veut vraiment commencer à faire les choses de façon intelligente, ça on va le garder. Du coup, maintenant que ça c'est fait, Bahamut, mon très cher Bahamut. On va tenter de te remplacer par Shiva pour pouvoir geler les ennemis grâce au dash. Ah, on va faire un test, on va voir. Là, celui-là, je l'achète pour 100. Je le rembourse pour 100. Non, non, et ça m'a coûté 8. Et il me l'a remboursé 800 parce que je l'avais acheté et amélioré une première fois. Donc non, non, ça rembourse bien la totalité de ce que ça vaut. Donc s'il y a un truc qu'on n'utilise pas, c'est vrai que ça peut valoir le coup de les... Celle-là, j'ai jamais utilisé et je sais que j'utiliserai jamais. Non, non, les coûts sont remboursés à la perfection. Ça, c'est bien. Depuis peu, Talgor agit de manière étrange. Il passe le plus clair de son temps sur le gaillard d'arrière. Hein? Le gaillard d'arrière. Regard perdu dans le lointain, comme s'il voulait nous faire comprendre qu'il souhaite se rendre quelque part, mais où? Je sais pas ce que c'est un gaillard derrière. Ou un gaillard.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Je me sens con là. Là, je suis en mode. Rip les ailes que j'aimais bien. Rip les ailes, mais pas les pouvoirs. Je souhaiterais engager tes services afin d'obtenir un exemplaire du Tiers Regard, l'ouvrage tabou qui a tracé ma destinée. Ces pages recèlent des savoirs et des enseignements qui pourraient guider les générations futures. Tu ne le trouveras pas sur la première étagère venue, je te récompenserai donc en conséquence.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
J'ai juste chronique. Bon, heureusement que j'ai tout enlevé du marqueur. Merci le jeu.
Say what you will.
Eh ben, Tutu, qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
J'adore la vieille.
Where to then, Torgal?
Ah là là, bon. Continuons de récupérer les quêtes. Il va aller où, Talgor? Talgor, faites pas rire. Il va aller où, le tutu? Ah non, il faut juste que je le suive dans le repère. Ok. J'ai jamais pris le temps de réellement regarder certaines des informations, donc je sais pas si elles ont été comptées quelque part. Ah, qu'est-ce que vous avez fait comme bêtise cette fois?
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
And that's what I said, in the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stonehenge.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Middledol's inventions. Oh, don't listen to her.
Et c'est eux qui me disent
Even
ça.
if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Middledore back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
On va d'abord aller en haut, parce que j'ai vu qu'il y avait une quête.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now. I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage.
Ah bon bah.
Arbach
Tiens, on en parlait la dernière fois, il y aurait une quête ou un truc.
Rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts and few ever survived long enough to.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and
Non, j'y vais
You were a
moi.
good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please, even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Tu l'as déjà trouvé,
Either
t'inquiète pas.
Grace, hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
Has Middledol mentioned a new
Choupette, qu'est-ce qui va pas?
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along. If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if her godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
J'aime bien ces petits objectifs de quête. On sait très bien que ça va juste finir par taper des monstres à droite à gauche, mais au moins les objectifs changent et c'est bien. Et surtout que là, tu vois qu'ils veulent le faire pour créer des trucs pour le futur et j'aime beaucoup ça. Toi, t'as pas de nouveaux monstres à me donner au fait au passage? T'as pas de nouveaux monstres. Parfait. Va falloir down les autres pour en avoir à mon avis. Bon, parlons avec les gens petit à petit.
Alright, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm.
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Carava, but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as...
I'll keep that in mind.
Hello!
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you, but this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
C'est con, j'en aurais aimé plus souvent des quêtes comme ça.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Une ou deux de plus, une par type de corps de métier qu'ils ont, les lames. Ça peut être sympa.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter, and something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless, and even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the...
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust and while I'm well aware that you've forbidden curse breakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to see.
As do I, Doris.
Ah, les sujets des quêtes qui sont bons, là. Là, j'aime bien. Là, c'est de la bonne quête secondaire. Là, ça m'intéresse. Tiens, Joshua qui me donne une carte.
Clive. Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Bien sûr!
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Eh ben. Ah, le pouvoir de déduction de cet homme par rapport à son chien.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the Executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give...
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Eh ben dis donc. Sacré début de mission, dis donc, tout ça. Assez intéressant, j'aime beaucoup. Bon. Grille le vent, il... Je pense qu'à mon avis, le village, c'est celui auquel j'ai pas encore pu accéder. Et en vrai, on va se faire un petit plaisir avant d'y aller sérieusement. Porte Est, porte machin. Photo de l'orée. La nef. On va partir d'ici. Tisvarog, exactement, Sima. Tisvarog pour conclure le truc, là. Comme ça, on pourra s'attaquer aux quêtes secondaires de façon très sérieuse. Mais juste que... On a failli le vaincre la dernière fois, donc on peut le faire. C'est pas faux. Bon. Je veux ma revanche et je sais que je peux l'avoir. Petite save propre qui va bien juste avant. C'est parti. Ah, bien sûr si elle me spawn dans la gueule, ça va pas m'aider. Oh oui, ça marche à ce point-là. Oh, Utsukishi. Bouc. Voilà. Ouh. Auricalque, engrenage céleste, de l'ambre. Oh.
Definitely not to be trifled with.
Ah. Chicota. Je l'ai en plus plutôt bien géré, je trouve. Je dis pas que le combat était impeccable, mais c'était propre. Hop, et ben allez. Quitte à être venu jusqu'ici, on va pouvoir prendre les nouvelles quêtes. Et aussi s'occuper de voir le niveau du nouveau. Le niveau du nouveau. Un peu chiant comme phrase, ça.
Laisser might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
And what can I do for you? You've a keen eye. An excellent choice.
Bouc. Ah, il y a tout qui est parti dedans.
You've a keen eye. I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
Échangeable contre des guilds.
I doubt you'll get more than that in the
J'avais
capital.
pas fait gaffe à ça.
That's the best I can do. Thank you. Come back again.
A fortress?
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the market.
Ouais, mais j'ai vu que les météorites, ça se vendait aussi. C'est pas une récompense si rare en soi. Mais c'est juste qu'on les obtient presque à chaque quête secondaire. C'est aussi pour ça que j'en achète pas.
Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier.
Ah mais la Cima, c'est la deuxième moitié de la quête de l'autre fois. C'est pas juste autour du bordel. Enfin, là c'est autour du bordel parce que je pense qu'il va falloir faire ouvrir les yeux à la ville pour leur faire comprendre que ils seront plus en sécurité avec elle et le capitaine que laisser l'autre avoir son nouveau pouvoir et sa nouvelle truc.
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. He must be made to face the consequences.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. that they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
C'est marrant, ce en France.
He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in... Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us unite. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer, if you will extend me the same courtesy. I bid you good day.
Ah là là, le bon vieux principe de si t'es pas avec moi, t'es contre moi. Ah là là.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so...
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you. Saw the captain just now.
What does the dame have to say about it?
So you are content to abandon the...
Maybe.
Please! If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home!
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right, as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of...
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Alors, il veut que j'aille là-bas. Ok.
Oh, no. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
Gav qui a le droit à son fan. Je suis content.
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. It taught me what one man can do. And I've been training ever since. So that one day, I can be someone's saviour, just like...
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine curse breaker.
So, what?
You haven't even started yet. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Bon, on va commencer par les bords du lac, comme ça au moins on va taper des trucs. Et ensuite on va voir comment il s'en sort le gamin.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Oh, il y a eu un step-up, les ennemis sont level 40 maintenant.
It's over.
Parfait pour l'XP. Ouais. Exactement. Saloperie de sphère. Et merci Joshua. Ça c'était un joli lancer. Je me demande quel est le level max du jeu. Parce que j'imagine très mal aller jusqu'à 99 dans sa configuration actuelle.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive! Are you alright?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
But do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic, stirring up ill feeling towards her father.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to...
Bon, bah, il faudra retourner une fois qu'on aura fait la quête dans le fort. Sauf si le jeu m'y TP directement. Il m'y a TP.
Do you not see, father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. a new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
Oh, fuck. No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caernarvon and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
Eh bah, pan! Comme ça, les deux connards, ça leur apprendra.
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady.
I'll play my part too. You still won for numbers. Unlike the enemy, I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back...
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
Eh, au moins ça fait RP, ça laisse le temps à l'autre d'imaginer son plan et savoir ce qu'il va faire. Pendant que moi je gère des trucs pareils. Ah, j'aime beaucoup ces grosses quêtes secondaires qu'ils ont mis. Dommage qu'elles soient aussi tardives, mais vu qu'ils voulaient absolument les faire avec des éthériques, je comprends.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
ça, Sina.
Is it over? No. It's only just begun.
Oh, salut toi. Qu'est-ce que tu fais ici? Oh. Oula, je suis revenu beaucoup trop vite. Ah mais jamais. Ok, j'ai compris l'inverse de ton message. Je pensais que tu faisais ça pour des quêtes de maintenant. J'ai compris l'inverse de ce que t'as écrit, désolé. J'avais compris l'inverse, genre des quêtes de maintenant, elles feraient tellement pas de sens et je vais dire mais qu'est-ce qu'elle me dit? Je comprends pas. Non, c'est moi qui est complètement... Il est où Drak? Drak il est bourré, il est au fond du caniveau.
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Putain, et en plus, il y a l'odeur de bouffe du resto d'en dessous qui est en train de remonter. Oh, c'est horrible. Je suis en train de brain et en plus, en train de m'ouvrir l'appétit.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger...
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions, but I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity, not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm, and we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief, And today there are more than ever.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Can we get you anything?
Allez, petit happy ending facile, mais au moins, c'est fait.
Just a little further.
This the last one?
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'll be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
J'ai pas compris ce que tu voulais dire là pour le coup.
You've helped quite enough for one.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief, shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
Ouf, eh ben, c'était conséquent tout ça. Et de super infos sur... Oh, on rigole! Cool. Parfait!